Hello, I am Justin, and today is garbage day here on Valorant, depending on who you are, because we have, for the next 12 days, the Switchback collection, which is 3500 VP, and it is obviously a select edition skin set. You know, this is supposed to be the quote-unquote starter pack, and if you're on social media, you will notice that there are some polarizing opinions about this from the community, content creators, and everybody in between. People really like this, or they really hate it. So we're gonna buy it today, and we're gonna actually try to come to a conclusion if this is good or bad, and you know, we'll just see sort of what it's all about here. So let's first and foremost add some VP to our account. 3500 VP for the whole thing. Let's buy it. Nice. Now let's go through to equip everything. Nice. I'm pretty excited to see this in game. I'm sure it'll be pretty cool. Here, everything is in the inventory, and you guys have probably seen it by now. You know, we're going to focus on the in-game aspect of it, but I have a few notes to take here. Switchback looks really similar to the Velocity Phantom, which was a Battle Pass item, which also has variants. Velocity, Switchback. Very similar. Likewise, Switchback also looks very similar to another Battle Pass skin, which is more recent. Composite. Basically the exact same thing, but again, this is a deluxe skin. Probably because it has a different shape than the other actual, like, sort of default reskins. Composite, Switchback. Now, you could argue and say that this could be a deluxe skin just because it is not quite exactly shaped like a default Phantom. Like, if we go to this, you know, like, the trigger here is obviously the default shape. Like, everything about this is just kind of default. Then we go to Switchback, and again, it's different. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that this is a select edition, but again, all of the tiers of skins on this game are so arbitrary, and the lines of what each skin is so blurred. But yeah, you know, there's the melee here. There's nothing really to show left in the inventory, so we're going to go into the range and just showcase everything. And, you know, we'll make the call here if this is good or bad, and I have some finishing thoughts for this towards the end as well. But let's jump into the inventory first. Before we begin the showcase, I'm going to show you guys everything in left-handed mode right now, no commentary. Alrighty, here we are in the inventory. We got the classic in our hand right now. And you also notice that I am clove. Over here to look at the skins right now. Honestly, pretty cool. Like, I can see why this wouldn't be in a battle pass. Like, good, not great. Very interesting that this melee is, I believe, the second ever scythe in the game, the other one being the Soul Strife scythe. And I've always found it kind of weird that they never really pulled the trigger on just adding like a full-fledged scythe into the game. So like, this really isn't like a scythe. This is more like a mountain climbing tool. Like, you know, you're climbing a mountain and it's like, oh, like I'm like in the wall now, you know? I don't know. Kind of weird. Melee, I kind of expect a little bit more. It's cool, but again, it looks more like a tool than it does an actual melee. I don't know. Alrighty, so we're gonna go in order here. We're gonna switch to the Stinger. Honestly, not bad. Really clean. And this honestly really does look like something that should have variants. And when we get to the Phantom, we're gonna get a little bit more into that, but this kind of really does look like Azabov from Counter-Strike. ADS, very standard. Might just be default, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the default color of the ADS for the Stinger. And that's the Stinger. Cool. All right, up next. We're going to do the Phantom Blast, but we're doing the Marshall up next here. Okay. Now, again, I said earlier that this is supposed to be like Asimov. Like, it's not supposed to be like that, but it looks similar. It clearly looks similar in a lot of ways. It has that nice orange and white finish, but I think what's going to hinder this the most is the fact that they chose the weapons that they chose for this, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but... That was weird that took so much shots. Here's a slow-mo of the bullets on screen so you can kind of see what they look like. Pretty cool. I like how all the bullets always have their own individual look for some of these skins, and it's no different with this. Very good stuff. Scope, standard. This is just, a regular old skin. I'm not too impressed with it, and we'll talk about it more in the inventory, but I do think that they sort of got a lot of the choices for these weapons just entirely wrong. They could have did a lot better stuff, in my opinion, probably. But lastly, we are on to the Phantom, which is supposed to be like the star of the show here, supposedly. Pretty clean with it, honestly, very clean. Look at the magazine there. You can see the magazine kind of glows. Kind of cool. And obviously you can see on the accents of the gun that there is a little, it's like an LED screen. You can see little things going through it. I'll try to show you guys zoomed in right now. See, there's quite a few moving parts that are inside of this gun for it being a select edition, which is cool, and everybody wants more for less, especially in 2024, where we are giving way more for way less. So, take with that little detail what you will. Honestly, it's pretty clean. I think this does look a little bit way too much like Velocity and the other one that we showed earlier, but, it's fine. It's fine. Like, this is obviously better than Velocity. I think that this is way better than Velocity. I've never liked Velocity, not even the Karambit. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but this is a little bit better than Velocity for sure. Yeah, this is the collection. Let's go back to the inventory and talk about the stuff just a little bit more. But before we do that, here is a clip I hit with Clove. Very fun stuff.
Have a kit. My ult is ready. One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Damn.
My bad.
Wow, Justin, you're so good at the game. Thank you. So, I think that this collection is actually pretty solid. It's really clean and it's cheap. And if you want to just get the whole bundle right now, which I don't really think that you should get the whole bundle. Like, it's not that good of a bundle, and we'll sort of get into that. But 875 VP if you want to buy it in your rotating store if it comes up. You're going to have to wait 3 night markets if you want this, and 3,500 VP right now, which I just don't think is worth it. Weak points of this collection for me are the melee. The melee is just kind of silly. I don't really see the point of it. Like, this is something that they would sell at like the North Face at your local mall. I think that the Stinger is a really solid addition to this. The Classic as well is pretty good. And I think this sort of gets bogged down with the Phantom as well as the Marshall. I do believe that these both look clean enough, but I cannot recommend these to actual people who want to like buy skins of this game. Like, I don't know if this is a good starter skin for you because literally, let's just sort it real quick here. So this is a select edition skin. We've said that. Look at all this like better stuff that you could get. Like, if we sort of just scroll through here like randomly, there's an argument to be made that Smite is better. There's an argument to be made that Rush is kind of better. I like Rush. Don't get me wrong. I like Rush. It's pretty cool. And then obviously you have like a lot of Battle Pass stuff that you can get, just sort of over the years, depending on what comes out when and when you buy a Battle Pass, what have you. Comparatively to all of the other select edition skins for this Phantom, the competition isn't really too insane, and I do think that this is like in the top 3 of the select edition Phantoms. It's definitely in the top 3, but it's on the lower end. I genuinely believe that Smite is probably a better bet than getting Switchback, but it sort of depends on your taste, obviously. This always comes down to being subjective. It's good, and they did a good job with this. My one complaint is that I think that Switchback should have been switched to a Vandal. A Switchback Vandal would have been a billion times better. It already looks like Asimov. just pull the trigger and put it in the game. It would have been so much better, so much cooler. People would have liked it so much more. I just really don't see the reasoning behind making this be a Phantom skin. And even the same with the Marshal. I don't think that there should have been a Marshal with this. This would have been a really great opportunity to have Select Edition Outlaw skin. Like, I just really don't get why they didn't pull the trigger and give an Outlaw skin to the store finally. And even an Operator would have probably been much better. You know, these are all just my opinions, but out of 5, this is definitely a 2 out of 5 for me. Do not recommend. Classic is really cool. SMG, Stinger, really cool. The Phantom is all right, but it should have been a Vandal. And then the other two stuff is just sort of whatever, especially the Melee. Melee is not really so good, but if you're into this sort of thing, then it just might be up your alley. Compared to Soul Strife, which I'm not sure what the price is for the Soul Strife individually versus the Switchback individually, but this does have effects, so it's probably a little bit better in your opinion. You know, like obviously turn them off. It's like still kind of better. However, what do you guys think about this new Switchback collection? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you going to be picking up anything from this or the entire thing? What weapons would have you preferred to have been in this if you think that the selection was wrong like I do? Leave all of your comments down below. I love you guys. As always, I'm Justin. If you're not, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video ever. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Cultivate, let the word go resonate, dominate your mind. If you need me, I can demonstrate. Synthesize the rhythm and forget about your mistakes. Let it go, let it go. Cultivate, let that word go resonate, dominate your mind. If you need me, I can demonstrate. Synthesize the rhythm and forget about your mistakes. Let it go, let it go.